Welcome to the Chronicles, told by the Oracle. Cases of the missing, murdered, and unsolved. I'd like to thank everyone for watching today, and don't forget to head over to thecertifiedoracle.com where you'll find source information for today's episode. And be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss a case. Let's get started with Chronicle number 28. The Krystyn Ray Dunlap case. The year was 1994. Friday nights were for sleepovers and playing games like Ask Xander, Dream Phone, and Mall Madness while eating bagel bites, Doritos, and of course some flamin' hot Cheetos. Waking up to some new Reese's Peanut Butter Cup cereal before heading out with the gang, listening to some Ace of Base or Boys to Men. Heading to see The Mask starring everyone's favorite Jim Carrey, before coming home to sleep easy in your bed because the weekend was fulfilled. For one mother, this was not the case. Her daughter had left, and although she should have come home, the reality of it was she was gone and may never return. Krystyn Ray Dunlap was born on January 24, 1977 in Boise, Idaho. She went by Krysty, and at 17 years old was an outgoing, funny, sweet, and caring girl. She stood 5 foot 4 inches and weighed 140 pounds, with blonde hair and green eyes. She had been diagnosed with ADHD. She had a younger brother, Daniel, and an older stepsister, Crystal. Krysty was dealing with a blended family, as her dad had passed away some time before. I could not find when or how her dad had passed. Krysty did wear glasses and had a 1-inch scar on her right butt cheek. She sometimes goes by the last name Bosse or Dunlap Bosse, Bosse. It was September 1992. Krysty had a job working for a pizza stand at Boise's Art in the Park Festival. This is where she met Charles Corey Castro. They hit it off instantly. There were just a few problems. He was 27 years old, married, and had a lengthy criminal record. As one can expect, Krysty's mom was not happy about this, and when they found out he was on parole, she contacted the parole officer to try to put a stop to it. When that did not work, and she was 16, she found out the two were having sex and tried to press charges on him for statutory rape. This did not work either. When authorities told them, she knew what she was doing and consented to it. Things after this would only get worse for Krysty, according to her close friends, who would tell that Corey was abusing her physically, mentally, emotionally, and sexually. Her friends also said Corey kept telling her he was going to divorce his wife, but they all knew that was not going to happen. It was not a good situation for Krysty to be in. On October 13th, 1994, Krysty's mom, Kim, Krysty, the parole officer of Corey, and Corey's wife at the time all gathered for a meeting/intervention, in the hopes that Corey would confess to everything and stop seeing Krysty. It is said when the meeting started, Corey stood up and yelled, quote, "Shit happens," end quote, and walked out. Krysty left in tears with her mom that day. On October 14th, Kim went to work while Krysty stayed home. Her mom told her she loved her, not knowing it would be the last time she would ever see or talk to her again. When Kim came home from work, she saw Krysty was not there, along with most of her important belongings. She found a note that Krysty had left. It said she needed to get away to sort things out and would be back in a year's time. Kim did not know what to think of this, as Krysty did have a history of running away, but she would always be back within a day's time. Police have concrete evidence that Krysty was alive for at least 2 months after she vanished. They know this because her close friends were in contact with her. They would give her rides and she would call and talk to them. She was also using one friend's address as her own. One day a friend took her to another friend's house, and when they got there, Corey was waiting, and Krysty left with him. They said they were going to McCall, Idaho. This was in December, and that is when friends stopped hearing from Krysty. Corey made a trip back to Boise without her, and then went back to McCall. It was confirmed that Krysty got a job working at a hotel in McCall. She only worked for 1 day. Krysty also stopped cashing the checks she received from Social Security from her dad's death in December as well. A few articles have friends saying she was going to Oregon to get away from her boyfriend, where she would be safe. Her family does believe that she was trying to get away from him. Not long after Krysty vanished, Corey began seeing another woman. Yes, he was still married at the time. The woman he began seeing had a young daughter, and Corey sexually abused her in 1998. He was sentenced to serve prison time and has since been released and had to register as a sex offender for life. Corey maintains the last time he saw Krysty was on the day of the meeting when he walked out. He said his parole officer told him he should stay away from her, and that is what he did. On January 3rd of 2022, Charles Corey Castro was shot and killed when officers from the Idaho County Sheriff's Office were sent to the home of Castro's wife to serve an order of protection against him. Officers knew the house well, being called out to the home at least 7 times in the previous weeks. Corey and his wife had a court date for January 4th, 2022 to finalize their divorce. It has long been thought by family he was involved in Krystyn's disappearance, and police suspect she was a victim of foul play. Her family believes she was trying to get away from him and was a victim of domestic violence. Krysty still has a mother and siblings that desperately want to know what happened to her, and hopefully one day they will have those answers. If you have any information on this case, please call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST, 1-800-843-5678, or the Boise Police Department, Idaho, at 208-377-6790. Thank you for watching, and be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share so I can continue helping families of the missing, murdered, and unsolved. As always, this is the Chronikle, signing off.